positive dialogue between his side and his team, the Atlanta Falcons, regarding a potential contract extension. The Falcons have certainly made it a priority this offseason to secure Ryan for a few more years after he took this team to the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago and was the MVP in 2016.
As I've been through it in the past, timetables are tough. I know that, discussions, all those things have been good. So it'll get done when it's supposed to get done. I've always had the mindset that you kind of let your agents handle the business and let our front office take care of it. And, I think we've got great people on both sides. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about being a Falcon for a long time.
Also a new dad of twins, I might add. So look, things are all good in the Ryan household. He could use that money. He's got some mouths to feed. But panic or patience, this extension gets done, Lewis, by training camp.
You know what? I'm going to remain patient with this because these are one of those things that really have to.
Oh no, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right.
No,
I'm patient. See, I saw you reach for it. I was like, what am I doing?
I was going to move it out of your way.
I really do think this is one of those situations where they are not. Yeah, how about that? I don't think they're gonna wind up having any issues getting this done. He wants to be there. The organization knows that he can't get out of there. It's one of those where, like, rarely do you see this kind of thing happen sooner than it should. A lot of times it's later than people want it to. A lot of times it's at the 11th hour. It's a big contract. It's a big investment. There's a lot of ramifications that come from investing this kind of money and committing this kind of money to a quarterback like this, how it affects the rest of the roster. So that takes a lot of planning, and a lot of times that takes some people really having to sit there and really just get off the rear end and go, okay, let's just get it done. And it'll get done.
It will get done.
I mean, and this is what you see with quarterbacks, whether it be Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, a couple of years left, you want to get them done. Obviously, Breeze has been taken care of as far as just, being in the free agent market. This is a guy who had 20 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, has thrown 4,000 plus yards since 2011. So you see the contribution from that standpoint. But at the same time, as you were just alluding to at the back end of that answer, a lot of other things need to get taken care of. This is a team that just has $3.5 million in cap space. You want to be able to make other moves to really augment the team as well. So you got to really ask yourself, even though other quarterbacks are getting done with 2 years left, is this really the best time for our team based on what we haven't been able to do in the free agent market and not being as active with other teams being more aggressive?
Are we asking about contracts earlier and earlier? I mean, forget 1 year left. Now we're going to 2 years. I mean, it's
like, why is it necessary?
That is a question. Yeah. The Bucs don't start off-season activities until Monday, but Jameis Winston making promises for 2018 already. The Bucs quarterback tweeting out a story from the Tampa Bay Times with the headline, "What are the Buccaneers going to do with Deshaun Jackson?" He responded saying, "We got this. I personally will make sure we show how valuable Deshaun Jackson is to our team and to the league. We need, or the league needs, or the team needs, whomever, Jameis Winston to bounce back. Over the first 9 years of his career, no one had more catches deeper than 25 yards downfield than did Deshaun Jackson. He couldn't replicate that production in year one with the Bucs. Winston 1 for 15 with an interception targeting Jackson on those deep throws last year. Over or under throwing 9 out of his 15 attempts. That is 60% of his throws. Again, I ask you, panic or patience? Winston does return to form in 2018.
I think you have to be patient. So namaste, as you were saying before.
Don't touch.
Simply because look at the quarterbacks that we have been patient with that came in even before him in 2012, whether it be Andrew Luck. Look at what's going on with him. RG3, look at what's going on with him. Basically, Russell Wilson is the one that's emerging in that class. Jameis Winston has come after. Now, you don't want a 3-10 record from a quarterback where it seems like they're backsliding. But I know he's been working with that quarterback's coach to try to get more accurate, particularly in the second level. And then you bring in a weapon like Deshaun Jackson. You would think that they would be able to stretch that vertical game, get it open. It hasn't worked out with Deshaun Jackson and Jameis Winston, and that connection in Tampa wasn't necessarily working on the backside of his career in Washington as well. So they've got to figure that out. But my main point is if you're going to be patient with those other quarterbacks that we just named, and I would think you'd have to be patient with him.
Yeah,
too.
I think this one's pretty simple. You definitely are patient here. Look, Jameis dealt with some injuries last year. Getting on the same page with a speedster like Deshaun takes some time, and I think it's something that they will click with. Look, I have pulled up all of those throws. I pulled up all of his targets to Deshaun Jackson and looked at them, and some of them were ugly, where Deshaun is 2, 3, 4, 5 yards past the secondary, and he is underthrown him or overthrown him by a mile. So you expect better out of Jameis, and Jameis is of the pedigree and is of the talent level that he'll hit those, and you definitely don't throw in the towel on this because there were big plays to be had last year, and they need to go ahead and hit those in 2018.
All right, walk with me here because we have these fancy cutouts, which I have to tell you, I'm impressed by. As we talk about quarterbacks in this division, and when you read about, like we did earlier, it's an impressive group.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm going to ask you, Lewis, this question. And you see these guys, all four. If you have, and the operative phrase here is one game. If you just have to win one game, not a season, not a career, one game, who do you take out of this group?
Oh, man.
No pressure.
This is easy.
They're only watching you.
This is easy for me. Okay? Oh, it's definitely Drew Brees. It's definitely Drew Brees. Look, Drew right now, look, it's amazing to me that someone as accomplished as Drew Brees does not get the kind of, I believe, this well-rounded and kind of well-traveled respect that this guy deserves. I mean, he has thrown for a gazillion yards in his career, 5,000-yard seasons. No other quarterback has done it more than once. He's done it 5 times or 4 times. I believe it's 5 times. And Drew is like the ultimate computer processor as far as knowing what to do pre-snap, being able to make all the throws post-snap. He's done it with a myriad of different weapons throughout his career. And if I had to win one football game, and I know it's going to be on the shoulders of this guy, on this quarterback, this is the guy I'm going after. And that's no disrespect to Jameis. Jameis is still earning his. Matt Ryan, look, I like you, but you're not in Drew's caliber. And Cam, I like you. You're not a Drew's caliber.
You're so much taller, Drew, these days.
I think that's realistic too. And I keep tripping over his cardboard foot.
Yeah, good thing it's just one game.
Yeah.
How about the next 5 years? I'm afraid you can't take Drew Brees on this one. I would.
Drew's about to fall. Exactly. Well, it's not going to be him because he's about to fall down.
Right.
It's going to be Jameis Winston. That's the guy who I would want over the next 5 years.
I think over Matt Ryan.
Absolutely.
And over Cam Newton.
Yes. Look, I think. Look.
Do you want me to hold this for you?
He is a better thrower than Cam, and Matt Ryan as well. As much as I like him, I think Jameis is about to start hitting his stride. I do believe he is committed to the game. I do believe he has all the physical attributes needed to play this game at a high level, as well as the mental attributes to play this game at a high level. He has some tremendous weaponry around him, and it will only get better. And I think Jameis is going to get better. He just needs to stay healthy. He needs to stay dialed in. He needs to start hitting some of those big throws that we talked about. And I think he's going to be just fine. He's one of those guys who I would bet on. I wouldn't have said that early on in his career when he came out.
This surprises me a little bit.
But no, I would take him. And again, no disrespect to Matt Ryan or Cam, who I love them both.
Listen.
But this is the guy who I put my money on.
They're both calling you right now like,
none of them are going to be survivors.
Hello.
You need to call Thomas Dimitroff, not me.
If we stay here, things are going to happen. I sense bad things are going to happen. So Todd McShay will bail us out when we come back. He's here with his grade A mock draft. His opinion, not what he thinks will happen, what he thinks should happen. Straight ahead on NFL Live.